posted on the corner. I'm posted on the corner.
What's up, man?
Oh yeah, let me. Okay,
Get
test
it on
1
up
2.
Hello?
Okay.
Evon is live, posted on the corner.
Yes.
Man, what brings you to our show today?
Ooh, I'm just here to spread the gay agenda.
Hello.
Come on. Okay.
Let's get into it.
Yes.
So you got in drag. How did you get into this art? How did you get into it?
All right. So picture it. Halloween, 2014. Okay. Started college. Saw my first drag show in college. She was a fierce queen, Beyonce impersonator, hilarious on the microphone. So for Halloween, I said, let me try drag. You know, if it's awful, if I look busted, it's fine. It's Halloween.
It's Halloween. I can get it off.
That's it. Midnight, it's a new person.
Right.
And my friend, best friend at the time, her boyfriend was the fraternity president, and they were having a Halloween party. And that night, all the girls got in for free and got a free cup for beer. So I was like, all right, well, let me test the art, right? So I got in drag that night, went to the fraternity house, and got it for free and got my cup. So, yeah, so I knew something was right.
I know that's right. I know that. So for people that may have not ever seen you in drag or do a show, what can they experience? What's that experience like?
It's just a good time. You know, I love being able to make people just come to a place of joy. There's so much negativity in the world, especially right now, that if I can just put on a lash and some Carmex and make someone
get busy?
and you know, just give laughs and joy and love, and I get to celebrate anniversaries and birthdays and divorces and just all of it. You know, I get to be a part of a lot of people's special day.
I love
so,
that.
yeah.
That's beautiful.
What does drag mean to you personally?
Drag to me personally would probably expression, just being able to express yourself. You know, we have so many different types of people who do drag. We've got straight men, straight women, gay men, gay women, you know, our transgender community. There's so many people who do drag, and anyone can do it, which is the beauty of it. Not everyone should. Clock that T.
For sure, clock that.
But, you know, it's great that it's an art form that anyone has access to, which is great.
So when I was doing my research, you said drag has put you in rooms that you never thought that it'll put you in. So what were
Posted on the corner.
Period. So what are some other rooms that you've been in and you was like, oh shit.
Oh my gosh.
I'm here, baby.
Ooh, so probably like the two for me, the biggest ones. One was I got to experience The Wiz, the revival of
Shout
The
out to
Wiz.
Candy.
Wow.
Yes, shout out to Candy. You know, I got to experience them in Baltimore, and I got to be a part of that. So I got to meet Candy, Deborah Cox, like Avery Wilson, and just to be in a room with so many artists who are passionate about their art and great at their art
For sure.
was super cool. And then I got to open up the new Performing Arts Center in Baltimore, singing live in drag.
Yes.
So yeah, it was.
Were you a theater kid?
I was.
Come on
I
now.
was. I performed at Disney for a little while before I started drag. And 10 years later, here we are.
I know that's right.
Yes. Yvonne is posted on the corner with yours truly, Incognito and DJ Mrs. You're very educated in the drag community. There was a law that was passed. I heard you speak on that previously.
Yeah.
Can you tell us more about that law and what does that mean to the community?
Yeah, so basically it's called the drag ban law. Right now, I think it's active in 6 states. At one point, it was 11, but 5 of those states overturned those decisions. But it basically meant that if you were a drag queen, a drag person seen in public, and someone didn't like it, they actually could call the police and have you arrested, booked, and serve jail time for... I think they tried to consider it like public indecency.
Jail time
for
being a baddie.
For being a baddie. That's crazy. Like what? I'm just trying to live my Natalie Nunn moment, you know? Trying to put me in jail. But yeah, so it's been a struggle, you know, owning I founded the largest drag event company in the country, Black owned. You know, me and my business partner Marcus, we're now in 18 different markets across the country.
Come on,
Puerto Rico
Right.
and Mexico now.
Hello.
And we faced a lot of adversity, you know, producing shows and trying to, you know, wiggle around the red tape. So it really kind of made me focus on the political side of what drag is and why drag was kind of founded to begin with.
That's what's up. So tell us about the Sad Brunch.
Yeah,
Because when you hear the name, it's like, what the hell going on?
It makes you think twice.
Yeah.
Which, marketing. But no, so my first brunch I had in Baltimore, the name of the show was Saturdays Are a Drag Brunch. And like I said, my business partner, Marcus, he reached out to start these events. He saw potential. And he was like, we need to make this is a thing. Like, this is a thing that people love. We can really expand on this. But Saturdays Are a Drag Brunch is a lot. And I have a lisp, right? So, if we can eliminate some S's in there, woo, let's do it. So we came up with the acronym SAD Brunch. And again, like I said, when people hear it, it makes you kind of, wait, what'd you just say?
Mean?
And now they on Google, on the Instagram, and they like, oh, okay, yeah, it looks lit. We gotta go.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are some of your drag do's and don'ts for the people coming to see you?
Yeah. Okay. Drag do's and don'ts. I mean, don't be an asshole. Like, I mean, there are so many things you could do. You could go to church. You could go vote. You could do so many things. You chose to come to a drag show. Yeah. Have fun. I can't stand when I see people who come to drag shows and they're just sitting there like barefaced. They look like they're having an awful time. I'm like, why did you come? Again, there are so many other things you could have done, but you chose to walk into this building for 2 hours and see drag. So like, what are we doing? Dues, bring money.
I was about to say, come tell.
Drag is not cheap, honey. So if you go to a drag show, bring some money. We take Cash App, Venmo, Zelle. Listen, EBT. Look, we could work it out. Just bring some sort of currency to show your appreciation to the entertainers.
The artists.
Yeah. How do you come up with your persona and your concepts?
Ooh, it's really I love throwback music, like early 90s, 2000s R&B. It was just a feel good time. I think for a lot of people, I'm a 95 baby, millennial.
Hello.
And those are just the times I remember just having like no worries, and people were just life was good for so many people. And I think especially when you're at the club, when you're lit, when you're, at a brunch on bottomless mimosas, anything that can bring back that like nostalgic piece of like, ooh, I feel good. Right.
Yeah.
I love being able to perform songs like that in drag and just being able to take people back to a moment where they're like, yeah, this is it. This is a vibe.
Now, what's your favorite to perform though?
Ooh, favorite to perform. So Jade Nova.
Okay. Come on, Jade Nova.
She has this medley. It's a Whitney Houston medley. I think it's called To Whitney from Jade with Love. It's like an 8-minute just anthology of all of Whitney's greatest hits. And it touches every generation. Everyone in the room knows the words, the song. And it's a fun moment because everyone knows it.
I love that.
What is a typical day of preparation before a performance?
Not much. I used to spend so much time. It used to take me like 3, maybe 4 hours to get done up. You maybe an hour now. I've really learned like the trips, like the tricks and the things just to make things quicker. Definitely laundry. No one likes a diva that smells.
Hello, because you ain't getting answered for me
at all. Okay, maybe a dryer sheet, but not $1 bill. Okay. But yeah, just like making sure the drag is fresh. Making sure that. My favorite perfume in the entire world, I always wear this. Everyone who's come to my show or been to several shows of mine knows that Mon Paris from YSL is my favorite scent.
Period.
So yeah, like just smelling good, feeling good, looking good. That's kind of the thing about drag, that even if we're having an awful day, it's our job to not let the audience know that.
Hello.
And a lot of times when I go into a show and I'm maybe not feeling my best or at 100, again, that joy that I get to see on other people's faces,
bring it to you.
I leave and I'm like, okay,
maybe
it's not right. Maybe it's not an awful day today.
Well, keep us behind the scenes. How do you deal with mishaps during a performance or something?
Oh yeah.
Ooh, mishaps. Ooh, I'm trying to think. I guess like one of the biggest mishaps, I mean, not for me, professional, but when your wig comes off when you're twirling, or a zipper malfunction, you're trying to get ready for your next number, your zipper breaks. So always having some safety pins in your back pocket is it's a lifesaver.
Yeah, keep that. So have you I love the ballroom scene. Have you ever competed in ballroom? Done any competitions
I
or
have
anything
not,
like that?
but my roommate, Sapphire Dupree, she 5'4", a firecracker.
Oh, shout it, that's what I'm talking about with the mixes. She be doing her own mixes.
Yeah. She is lit. She's in the ballroom scene. And she kills it.
Do you feel like I know a lot of ballroom events, they don't include drag sometimes, but would that be something that you would want to try or get into?
I mean, maybe one day. They have categories like drag face, or butch queen up in drag, so they have like small elements of drag in ballroom. But I like the separation. I really do, because it gives everyone kind of their own avenue to shine. Like if you're not great at drag, you can hop over to ballroom and vogue the house down. If you can't vogue or dance, but you can do makeup, come do drag and stand on stage for 4 minutes.
I love that. I love that. So what else are you working on right now that you could tell us about?
Ooh, so I think the biggest thing is probably just this international residency.
Come on, man.
Yes. I leave in 3 weeks for Mexico, Puerto Vallarta.
Oh, my goodness.
And I'm doing a one-woman drag brunch for 3 months on the beach. So very excited, very anxious.
Wow.
But yeah, besides that, I'm working on a one-woman show called From Homeless to Hosting.
Congratulations.
Thank you. A lot of people who've been following my drag journey have seen my struggles from getting fired from Disney from performing at drag shows and calling out the next day, to losing my housing, losing my job, and really just building up from that moment. So now that I'm able to put it into words and a story and sell it, the people are buying it. So after my residency, I'll come back and I'll do a run of my one-woman show at a regional theater in Maryland. So
that's beautiful. So you being a person of color, a man, doing this drag, you're part of the community. How did you overcome those hardships within your life and not basically giving up or like, oh, I'm not going to do this because I'm thinking about what people think about me? How did you overcome that situation?
My mom, hands down, my mom has always been one of the most supportive people of me. When I started doing drag, I kind of fell out with my dad and my stepmom, and it was really like my mom's just words of encouragement and just, constant affirmations that, look, you could be out here doing so many extra crazy things.
Hello?
You're dressing up and you're making people happy and you're making a living doing it, an honest living doing it. And after a couple of years, my dad kind of came around. I just went home a couple weeks ago to Pennsylvania, where I'm from, and all of my parents came to my drag shows, and their separate entities came to the show, and that's probably like the third time they've seen me perform. But it's such a blessing to be able to just truly live freely in what I want to do and just have support.
Shout out to mom and shout out to dad for growth.
That part.
Okay,
yes,
shout out
dad.
to dad for growth.
Being a millennial, where do you see yourself in the drag world in the next 5 to 10 years?
Ooh, 5 to 10 years. I would really love to be just traveling. I've spent the past 6 years really building Sad Brunch and really focusing on giving other people opportunities that maybe they didn't have the education or the resources to reach out to a corporate company and be like, hey, I'm a queer performer. I want you to pay me to be here. That can be very intimidating. And a lot of people don't have that moment to do that. So like I said, I've spent a lot of time giving opportunities. This next chapter is giving myself opportunities, and I'm very excited for that.
You ate that.
So.
You ate that. What is some advice that you have for that young man that's scared to take that leap of faith and jump into his dream of doing drag, or a young lady that wants to get into doing drag? Because I've recently just seen some drag kings. And I'm not gonna lie, I ate that up.
Okay.
I kind of need to go to a show for real.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, listen, we have shows at the Battery here in Atlanta.
Okay.
Sports and Social. We have another one coming up in Christmas, but we do them probably quarterly down here in Atlanta. But it's lit.
I know that's right.
It's a good time.
So what's some advice that you got for those youngins that are scared to take that leap of faith?
Really just have a core support team. It doesn't have to be the fandom. It really doesn't. I mean, there's always going to be people that have something to say about what you do, whether you do it well, whether you do it not well. There's always going to be those people that have things to say, but if you really focus on, instead of the energy that they're giving, focus on the energy from the people who are supporting you, at some point the scale tips and you start to mentally, physically, and spiritually align with those people who are supporting you and stop focusing on those people that have negative things to say. So that's what I would say. Just a good support team.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
fire. What role does drag play in the LGBTQ plus community?
Yeah, I always say I feel like drag queens are kind of like the gatekeepers and kind of like the bridge builders between communities.
I agree.
You know, most of the spaces that I perform in, most of the spaces that I consume are not gay owned. They're not, you know, LGBTQ frequented. They're straight venues. Being a black owned drag company, a lot of them are black owned spaces. And, you know, diving kind of back into that, you know, that black male moment, sometimes it can get a little dicey.
Right.
So just being able to, again, be that person, be that gateway for other people who maybe don't have the comfortability to go to a venue owner and be like, hey, I have an idea, it's profitable, hear me out. For me, that's really what my drag is about, being able to be that person to connect.
If you could change anything about the community, what would you change?
Oof, Lord, trying to set me up.
Because it'd be a lot of rules, honey.
Yeah, it should be a lot. It would be a lot. I had to go international. No. I would say one thing is that I just wish more people experience drag. You know, so many people have a preconceived notion of what a show is. You know, even with this drag ban law, it was, you know, men who have never been to a drag show, probably never seen one, but again, wanted to dictate like what
What's
people did with it. You know, the same men who said women can't control their bodies, you know, pretty much.
Type, yeah.
And again, it's really just letting people experience it. You know, people think it's sexual, people think it's this, it's that. It's nothing of the sort. You know, it is
theater to
it's
me.
Theater.
It's like
It's
theater.
It's very much theater. The amount of stuff we put on, I mean, body shapers, pads, everything. Yeah, it's a lot of theater.
So you sing. Where are you gonna drop any music? Are we gonna expect some music
Yeah, so
from
I actually have 2 songs out right now on all streaming platforms.
Cool.
My first one, Eat 'Em Up, pretty much just like a homage, like, hey, I did this, and I'm eating them up.
I ate them up.
Yeah, I ate them up. Yeah, I ate them up. But yeah, I've got some other things going, coming through, kind of more personal songs. You know, last year I went through, you know, a big domestic abuse sort of relationship, and that really changed a lot of my perception on things. And one thing that I found that drag wasn't able to do for me, music was. So, you know, I've played piano for 25 years. So being able to write my own music, write the lyrics, I bought me a little studio set, so now I'm able to record and edit on my own and teach myself those things.
Okay.
So a self-produced EP is on the way.
That's fire. That's fire.
Come on, I love that.
Who is your Mount Rushmore of drag queens?
Ooh, Mount Rushmore. Let's see. I don't know. I would say probably Roxy Andrews. That is, I mean, just from head to toe, it just gives polished, it gives intention. And that's a bad bitch.
No,
yeah.
Hold on. That's all I got.
How do you balance self-expression in your performances?
Like in which way?
Like just when you perform, how are you giving us from your heart, you know?
I think, again, just choosing music and things that I enjoy doing. And also just knowing your audience, like being able to read the room, you know, just being able, knowing your audience, reading the room, knowing what they're going to get, what they're going to interpret. And again, just making sure that for them, it just makes sense. Yeah.
Do you feel like you found a balance with your personal life, drag life, music? Do you feel like you found a balance for yourself yet?
Yes and no. It took a long time because I was so focused on drag. You know, I used to do 4 to 5 nights a week in drag. Now I do it twice a weekend.
Right.
And luckily, you know, I'm still able to sustain a lifestyle and you know, pay bills and send money back home and help my parents with things. And again, it's really just been taking that time like by myself. You know, so many people are afraid to be alone and take that time to really dig deep into like, what is it? And for a lot of people, drag is a form of escapism. Like, this is, hey, you know, this isn't great right here, so I'm gonna dress up and make believe over here. But at the end of the day, you still have to come back to that. And if you're not focused and invested in that foundation, you know, I always tell people, if Devin's not okay, Evon can't be a thing. wouldn't be a thing. And it took me a long time because, again, I focused so much on building up Evon that Devin kind of suffered just mentally, physically. And I really had to remind myself that, like, hey, if I'm not okay, I can't perform, right?
If I'm not okay, she not okay.
Yeah.
I love that.
What's your social media handle?
Queen of Business with 3 S's.
Queen of Business with 3 S's.
Go follow something.
Your time.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Your creativity, your art, your songs. I can't wait to hear you play the piano.
Yes, okay,
no, for sure.
25 years on the piano. I want to hear a little
okay,
over there like this.
Something. Okay.
I'm gonna bring my lady out. I need you over there. Ding, 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 ding,
okay.
ding, ding.
Okay.
Evon know how to play the piano too, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All
right, putting on yours truly incognito.
And DJ Mrs.
Evon in the studio.
Woo!
Posted on the corner.